Welcome, everyone. This is the Your Little Castle show. We get some exciting leaders, people you run into. I guess, Nick, you and I have been friends now for about 20 years, and we ran into each other recently at a fun event. You want to tell everybody where that was that we ran into each other?
A couple of them. We were at Guns N' Hoses.
Right.
It was when I saw you walking around with a cowboy hat on, and
Right.
I was sitting right behind you. So I gave you a little text message
Right.
to look behind you, and here I was waving at you. So,
Right.
and then we run into each other at all those events.
Yeah.
Cardinal games, baseball game.
Yeah. St. Louis is a small community. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Nick LaRosa.
Thank you for having me.
Not related to Tony LaRosa.
Not one bit.
But we'll throw that out there. It sounds the same. There's one little spelling difference, but let's put that up on the screen for everybody. But Nick is an awesome guy, a great community guy, family guy, and been in business now for, how long has it been? 2004?
2004.
18 years,
Yeah.
going on 19 years.
Right.
NADT investment specialist, based out of St. Louis, Missouri.
Correct.
Fenton area, kind of a core for where you're at. I grew up there too. It's kind of, I guess that's some of the connections where we go back.
Right.
And it's just, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So Nick, tell us, why did you decide to get into this? This is an interesting realm, and you get to do a lot to help the community. That's what we're all about here on our show.
Yeah, I have this passion to help people. That's just what I do. Back in the mid '90s, my brother was a building engineer for a building downtown. Ran into some issues where he needed some help. I was in a position to help him, and that's how I got my construction debut. He kind of got the ball rolling with me and teaching me the ropes. And then my brother-in-law was a general contractor, and he's taught me everything that I know as well. So between the two of them, here we are today, and trial and error along the way, went into business for myself, investing in homes, tried that real estate investing back in the day, and we bought, sold houses. We were landlords. We were the banker. We did it all, and I did it by myself for the most part. And so I took a turn for general contracting because I felt that was our niche to get in there and help people navigate their home projects. And that's where it led us today.
Well, it's an exciting field to be in when you get to help somebody with their house, the place that they're going to raise their kids and
Right.
create a family and do everything to help be involved in the community. That's what our focus is here on the Cardinal Cowboy message that we portray throughout the community. Tell me though, you talked a little bit about where that came from. As a child, were you involved with this kind of stuff? Did Dad get involved with this? It's
No.
just one day somebody needed some help and you decided to jump in.
Just during that time of my life, real estate investing was the thing, the go-to. Everybody was doing home investments and buying property, and I started to educate myself and pull little things off the internet, and went to some local classes and just self-taught myself really on investing in properties, and kind of led us to where we are today.
Tell me, what is your passion that you get to be involved with here that really helps you to keep doing this? I mean, if somebody's been in business doing this 18 years,
Yeah.
obviously it's something you enjoy.
Well, it's that helping people, right? People get into the stress of either home remodeling, or they've had an unsuccessful home remodeling, and they're sad or they're depressed or whatever the case may be, and we can come in and fix that problem for them. And that, just to see that smile on the end product when we've taken a disaster and we're able to help them turn it around and turn something good into a home project, that is kind of my forte. Is somebody's problem, we fix it. I'm a fixer. That's what we do.
A fixer of problems for people and likely the most expensive asset most people will own. Tell us a little bit, how did you come about the name? It's an interesting name, NADT, Investment Specialist, and you're really helping people to property investment, where a lot of their financial future may go.
So prior to taking on the company in 2004, we originated in 2001. Some friends of mine were in the same mindset, so we got together and decided we wanted to go into business investing in property. So it's really initials. We'll leave it at that. That the name stuck. I liked it. It was catchy. I didn't want to change it. So when I took the company myself, we just kind of changed a little bit from an NADT investment group, if you look out there, to investment specialists, because I at that point in time was still investing in real estate. And then as we changed our focus into general contracting, the name kept, people knew us. We were in the investment world, so I didn't want to change that and have to rebrand us.
Right. Well, I mean, it's an interesting name because it is allowing people to understand that this is a big time investment in their long term.
Right.
Like we talked about, most people, the house is their number one asset as in regard to what they can use for retirement and have a lot of their wealth involved in. And so a lot of people, when you say construction, okay, cool, I got something I've constructed. But when you say investment, property investment specialists, that really helps people understand this is not just something you want to build and get it set up. Right. It's a real investment. And I think that kind of helps people portray a little bit about what you guys stand for, what you do.
And it takes a little explanation because a lot of times when people are searching for us or searching for a contractor, they're not expecting to see an investment name behind it. They think investment, they think money, securities, things like that. But we're investing, I personally, in our company and the guys that work for us. We invest our time into your future and give you the best product that we can.
Well, that's critical for what we do in this little planet, especially in this corner of the world where people are going to put a lot of time and money into something they can own, and a house being something like that is a huge resource for them to obviously spend a lot of their time and energy on. Tell me, what is it, the one thing about your business, Nick, that you really feel sets you apart? So something you do that's extraordinary, something exceptional that you do.
Well, we're kind of a one-stop shop, right? You call us and we will take that project from start to finish with all of the subs that we use, with all of the contacts that I have and I have established over time. I take great pride in developing our team out there and bring the best of all trades together. You'll find them on our website, and who those people are, but we take strides in providing our customers with the best quality workmanship in all trades, not just what we bring to the table, but all trades to the table. And I oversee all that, so it's up to me to make sure that project gets done from start to finish.
Well, that's key. That's important. Tell me, if somebody's been in business as long as you have, there's likely been a few times where you've had some challenges in the business. Where's one time where you really felt like, wow, this is something that's a big hurdle to overcome, and obviously you made it through and it made you stronger? Can you give me an example of a time where you felt like this is something we're really going to learn from, really grow from?
A lot of it is customer service, and understanding the customer's needs and what makes them trigger. And sometimes we miss the ball on that, and we have to sit back and look at each problem that we may have been forced to be involved in, and just try and work that challenge out. And that in itself is the challenge, right? Because everybody is unique to themselves and their personalities and their characteristics, and it's up to us to try to navigate through that.
Well, that's something that a lot of people, most everybody has to overcome with regard to running any kind of business, customer service. And it's anybody that's ever gotten that right the first time, every time, they haven't been in business very long. Obviously, because that's something that, as humans, we always, I think I like that color. Oh, I want that finish. Oh, I want that kind of layout. That's something that's going to change all the time, and you've got to address that and make sure and accommodate. Right. And you wouldn't have been in business for 18 years if you hadn't been able to adjust to that and make those changes. Very important. When it comes down to what people are going through and they're asking you for their services, what's an objection somebody might have? If they say, "Oh, I don't like that," or "I'm not sure I want to do this." What's one of the biggest objections you
A lot of it is price, right? I mean, life is price driven, so we try to stay competitive with our competitors out there. People have a variety with the internet now. They just Google click who they want to use, and then they've got to go down the list and make a decision. And sometimes they don't know who they're dealing with. We're locally owned. If you call us and you need a bid or an estimate, it's myself that shows up at your front door, and you're dealing with me directly. And so it's really just price driven. is one of the biggest things that we see.
Well, I get that because there's a lot of people that if the price doesn't match, if the price isn't right, they're going to have some big questions for you, and you got to stay within that realm of price that they can afford, but still give them the quality and response for what they're looking for when the product is done and said. So tell me, one time, is there a particular time you can recall, or a kind of a method you have to something that when you really got something right, a time when you go, wow, this is a challenge again, but we made it right. We really took care of a customer that was concerned or had some questions or whatever might have been of interest to them.
Right. So one of the first thing that comes to my mind is when we go into a person's house and they're met with a problem. We've had a couple of these where we walk away feeling good because not only did we solve their problem, but we were able to give them resources, i.e. their insurance company that they didn't even know existed in an insurance claim. So all of a sudden their price, or their product is covered because it was damaged by nature, and they didn't realize that it was something that the insurance took care of. So we were able to navigate the repair for that particular project with their insurance company, and we work hand in hand with the insurance companies, which takes the stress off the homeowner. They don't have to worry about it. And so, this guy's whole back of his house was blown out by water damage, the back corner of his house with windows. So we were able to pull everything apart, establish what the problem was, fix the problem, and then we had to go back with everything new structurally wise. And so that was a big challenge because we had to go through and produce everything to the insurance company and make sure that they were satisfied with everything that we were doing, and then provide the end quality. And when you walk away with a smile on their face, and then that individual's calling you back to do more work later down the line, you hit the what I guess we call a home run with that one, because now they're a repeat customer.
Right. Tell us a little bit when you're dealing with clients. I didn't know how often is it that somebody goes, oh, this is something that could be handled by insurance. Now I'm really frazzled. How do I deal with insurance? And what is it you have to do to help clients get through that process?
We handle it. We just, they give us their insurance agent's information, and, they initiate that claim. And then we talk with the insurance company behind the scenes. And really, it's a simple process because they navigate what needs to be done. We send them the scope of work on what we found. We send them the pictures of what we found. We give them our explanation of the damage and potentially how it would have occurred or could have occurred. And, they either approve it or they don't approve it. And so far, we've been successful with them approving the ones that we've dealt with.
Yeah, I mean, how stressful is that for somebody when they're saying, oh my gosh, now I've got to deal with the insurance company, and when you got to walk them through that process?
It's stressful for them until they realize they don't have to do it. We're doing it. We do it for them because they allow us to speak on their behalf. So, if it becomes an insurance claim, we follow the guidelines of the insurance and what formalities that they want us and the hoops they want us to jump through, and it's fairly easy once you know the system. It's not complicated, but it does become stressful for the homeowner once they realize that they're not involved in that aspect of it. All they know is at the end of the day, hey, we got your claim approved, and it's going to be your out-of-pocket expense for your deductible, and we move on. And we work everything out with the insurance companies. That's just one aspect of it. Most of our work is not insurance claims, but we do provide that service.
That's cool. That makes it a lot easier. That is a stressful event for a lot of people. So tell me, what is it that gives you the most satisfaction about what you get to do? When you're working with a client, somebody says, Nick, we want NADT to do this for us. What gives you the most satisfaction when you start on that project and how you work through the project?
Again, the satisfaction is that smile on their face when we took, either a remodeled basement or a kitchen or a bathroom or something that was not done correctly by another contractor or whatever, and then we know the end result, and we look forward to seeing that smile on their face, knowing that they got quality workmanship, and pride in what we do. and just knowing that we're going to provide that service to them and that product to them, and then walking away with their smile on their face, and then they're calling us back.
Well, that's got to be very satisfying to be able to help contribute like that to the community, helping the family. That's when we take the time. We'll say we'll put on the Cardinal Cowboy hat for you, because that's what we're all about with regard to trying to do things to make a difference in our community, and that's key. What do you feel, though, that you do it with your business to contribute most to the community? And you do a lot of stuff. I know you've got other endeavors, things you work with and contribute to the community with. What do you feel like you do most with NADT to help contribute to the community?
Well, I guess I'll put myself on the spot. I'm a very pro guns and hoses. I do have a background outside of construction, so I'll throw that little niche out there that I had my time in the ring back in the day. So anytime we can contribute back to guns and hoses, we try to do that.
Yeah, that's a great organization that does so much for the community.
Fantastic organization.
And that's where I keep running. I guess I've run into you there a few times.
Right.
And I give a shout out to those guys and everybody there that runs the Guns and Hoses event. Backstoppers is the benefactor there.
That's correct.
I believe.
That's correct.
And those are the guys that really have put their life on the line. Personally, somebody who's gone through and, if you will, has they've made an impact on my life. These are the guys that pulled me out of a fatal accident that I was involved in and ended up going into a coma. But if they were not on the ball, they're helping making sure everything was done on the exact time frame. I probably would not be here today. So shout out to you and all the guys that support that.
So that's why you ask, what's your passion, what motivates you is my background of being in that first responder background. It's just, that's what I have a niche, is just to help people. And that's how I give back to the community, is just helping people.
Well, that's important. It seems like you can't have a functional, successful business if you're not doing something to contribute to the community. And it's great to see somebody doing that for so long now.
Right.
Coming up on start your third decade here in a couple of years.
Right.
That's really neat. So talk about the process. If somebody says, Nick, I'm ready to start working with you guys, how would somebody go about getting started working with you?
Sure. You contact our office. We'll set up a schedule to come out to your property and assess your needs. What is it that you're looking for? And we'll start a bid process. We take pictures, we sit down if we're going to plan and design something for you, whether it's a basement, kitchen, bathroom, all that goes through a process. We got to go through the permit process. In order to do that, we got to have plans and designs made. And then we go from there. We get things approved by the homeowner on what our plan and design is going to be. Once we have that approved, then we go through the permit process. Once we have our permits, we come in, start the demo. From the demo, then we start the rebuild and get to the finished product.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Very simple process. Experts that have been doing this for a couple decades now, going into your third, like almost your third decade. That's a business that's been around and been successful. Let's take a look here, everybody. I'm going to put up on the screen behind us. Everyone take a look at. Here is your new website. This looks great. NADT-investments.com. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here, walk through this a little bit with everybody, but right there, contact us today, call us today, a little bit of the work that you've done.
Yeah, these are, this is still in production, but it's obviously ready for view. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the people that put it together for us. So if you scroll back down, if you go back down up to the window, go down a little bit again. There's a window picture there. That's the blowout we were talking about. So
okay, yeah.
so we went from, we had to pull all that siding off, had to match that siding. As you can see, we start from there, tear everything off. And if you go up to the very top, it all started because of a bad gutter design.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it went years undetected.
Oh, wow.
You call us anytime. The number's on the screen. My staff is ready to answer your calls. We're ready to do your remodeling, basements, and those are just a few of the things that are on there. We work hand in hand with a foundation company, especially right now with the rains and the weather changes. Your basements are flooding out, need drain tile systems, have cracks. We work hand in hand. If I can, I'll throw it out there with Three Rivers Waterproofing. And Jason is probably one of the best in that business. You know, if you're looking to remodel because you want to sell your property, again, like I told you, we are a one-stop shop. I just happen to be married to one of the best real estate agents in the business, and we can take your phone calls for that as well. So,
well, it sounds like as a matter of getting everything anybody might need for their house, their biggest investment, NADT investment specialist really has it together.
we do.
If there's one thing you say you do better than the rest, that when somebody says this is your niche, this is what you're good at, what would you say that would be?
Probably not the answer you're looking for. Customer service.
Okay.
Customer service. You know, very attentive. I try to put myself in their shoes. If I was hiring out myself or a company that was similar to ours to come into my house, what am I looking for? And I'm looking for somebody that's going to be honest, have character, have integrity, and, you know, God bless my dad, rest his soul. One thing he taught me and my mom was integrity, and I will die by that. Integrity is not my number one characteristic that I believe in. My word is more golden than anything on paper. So that's what you're getting from us, is quality people and workmanship and just honest characteristics.
Well, if there's one thing that can set somebody apart, that would be something that is key and something we would emphasize. And that leads us to our next little segment right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to give Nick the World Championship Community Leader belt. So if you like, a lot of people just put this over their shoulder.
I appreciate that.
And so it's our honor to give you that belt as now a bearer of the Cardinal Cowboy Community Leader belt, and somebody that has obviously been a leader in the community for a long time, making a difference and doing good work to help the community. We're glad to have you wear that belt, and we're going to have to get a picture of you.
Proud to wear it.
Putting that on, showing how you make a difference. And so, if you want to, you can hold it right there, or you can set it on the table, however you prefer. But that's a real belt, though. It is.
Yes, it is.
It's full,
Yes,
full,
it is.
full size. I'll even zoom out here. You can see. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nick's website here for his business, NADT. NADT. Excuse me. Investment specialist. No S's on there. That's what I was struggling with.
Right.
NADT investment specialist. NADT-investments.com. Correct. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. Talk about then when you're involved with our community, if you had to pick one of your favorite sports, the sport that you like most that you get involved with.
I grew up playing soccer, man. That's pay my way through school. So you know, glad to have the new St. Louis team in town. Hope to get to see some of their games, but I would have to be a soccer fan.
Well, and let's talk about that a little bit. As a matter of St. Louis we just finished up the World Cup. The United States made it to the 16 round and lost to the Netherlands. A kid I went to high school with, a buddy of mine, Orion. He's from the Netherlands and came over here as a foreign exchange student and was our best player back in the day. That was a lot of fun. It took us. We went to go to state championship 2 years in a row. Yours truly scored that sudden death overtime goal in my junior year to put us there, which was a lot of fun. Great team, a lot of support from the guys there. But how important do you think sports is in the development and did that help you so that you become a successful business person?
Oh, I think so. Because it formulates that sense of teamwork, and you can't be an individual out there on the field, right? I mean, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't matter what sport you're in, maybe unless you're playing golf, but even golf is an individual sport because you got your caddy that is helping you along the way, right? So I don't think there's any sport out there that's an individual sport. And it's all about teamwork. And as long as a team is functioning well, and you know this in playing soccer, when your team's not doing well and you guys aren't gelling as a team, what happens? The outcome's probably not the one we're looking for. But when we're gelling and you're winning, you win that and you shoot that scoring goal at the end of the year and become a state champion, right? Is that kind of how that played out?
Well, we ended up losing.
Well, we don't want to talk about that.
But it was so. I mean, but I felt like soccer and baseball were two primary sports, and I ended up playing football later. Made it as a professional kicker, if you knew that part about what I ended up doing. But I think so much of that gave me the tools that I needed to become competitive, to learn how that if I just practice, those are the things. That's the kind of stuff that would give me the advantage so that I could be the best at the position I was at. Do you feel as though that's a contributing factor to what made you who you are today?
Absolutely, absolutely. You have coaches and mentors as you grow up, and you learn from them coaches and mentors, and then that's how you kind of build your own character. And if you're surrounded by good coaches and good mentors, I think that overall is how we achieve our success in life.
Yeah, I would agree. And I was going to say the other thing, the point you were making, nobody makes it on their own. Even I was thinking of a tennis player who's the only, but they still have a coach.
They have a coach.
And that coach is going to be instrumental. Serena Williams, John McEnroe, go down the list of players that made it. They still had a coach next to them saying, this is something you're not doing well. Here's something you can improve on. Always pushing them to make and improve and do better. And I think that's key, and that's where we learn so much from sports.
And that's kind of what we do in our own business as well today is, I mean, my guys will tell you when we're done with a project, I'll ask them, what could we have done better? What could we have done differently? What did we do well? And we try to work from that, and so the next time we're even better. So we take that same philosophy that we did as young kids playing sports, and we still use it today.
Well, to me, that is something that's fundamental to essentially the design of our little country right here. It was built on, if you have the work ethic, the desire, the ambition to go out there and to do something to set yourself apart, you can really do that. And if you're willing to put the time and the work in, you can make it.
Right.
And then you become a bit of a coach. Do you see yourself in the leadership role periodically, obviously?
Oh, all the time. Right now I'm fortunate enough to have my son working with us, and having him start this field, not knowing anything construction related, and to see him excel now is fun to watch as a dad. Not as his boss, but as his dad. To see him grow is a good time.
Well, and it's part of what we like to talk about. If you can keep the family involved and get the kids to become part of the business, you said one of your sons is working full time with you in the business right here.
Correct.
And has it been kind of exciting for you to watch him mature and now to where he's part of the company?
Exactly. So just to see him right out of high school to being that immature 18-year-old to really now understanding business, which is going to help him in life. So, and that's how he's seeing things now. He's like, he'll ask me, some days we ride together, and some days he shows up in his own vehicle, but when we're together, he'll ask, hey, I understand how this works now. And, he understands the business side of things, understands if we as a team make a mistake, how it actually affects the bottom line. Like, yeah, you guys still get paid on Friday, but if we make a mistake, the company, really eats that mistake at the end of the day. So it affects your product, your profit at the end of the day. And he's understanding that. So, we're human. We make mistakes. The guys, we address them, we fix them, but obviously no cost to a customer. But at the end of the day, that's my message to him, is to just understand how business works.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, hope you learned a little bit here by watching your Little Castle show. Stay tuned for more.